channel. So today I'm going to do a DIY wax. I had went to the store and I had brought a waxing kit. It's by Sally Henson and it says extra strength all over body waxing kit. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm one of those girls who go to the salon for that type of maintenance. Now because I cannot go to the salon right now, I decided to buy one and try it myself. So it says that it comes with a wax jar, a finishing oil, 20 cloth strips, 8 natural wood spatulas, and instructions. Now I'm not going to do it step by step because that's a little bit personal and an invasion of privacy, and we're not going to do that. So I'm going to end the video, my introduction of course, and then I'll do it on my own, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you the instructions that I followed and the results and if I like it or not. So I hope you enjoy. Hey guys, so I'm back from waxing myself. I'm going to talk you through the instructions and then give you my input on my whole experience. So it came with the instructions right here. The kit, of course, did come with what it said. It came with a jar of wax, and then of course it has like the finishing oil, and then it has strips. It came with 8 of them, and then 20 cloth strips, which are right here. So first it says to microwave the wax, the jar, for 30 seconds in the microwave. But then of course if it has not melted and additional heating time is required, then you would repeat it at 15-second intervals, which I had to do. And then of course when applying the wax, you have to do it in the direction that the hair growth is going. So if your hair is going this way, you will apply the wax that way, and then when you're done, you would pull the wax the opposite way of the hair growth. Of course, when doing the wax, you don't want it too hot, so you probably want to let it wait for a minute. And then you would stroke the strips 2 to 3 times in the direction of the hair growth. Me personally, the whole process wasn't that bad. It was just very tedious, and it was hard to get in that area in certain angles, but I got a lot of the unwanted hair that I didn't want. Like I said, it was harder going in certain directions, but so far I didn't have a reaction, and I personally have sensitive skin, so usually my skin is able to tell me within a couple minutes if it's working for me or not. I used about several strips. You also want to make sure that your hair is long enough for it to pull. For example, it says that it should be at least 1/4 long, so it will adhere to wax. Hair should be no shorter than half. To avoid tingling and discomfort, trim longer hair before treatment. I did the whole area, even though it says bikini wax. On the box it says Brazilian formula, so I did my whole area. Like I said, I didn't have any reactions or anything. This particular wax can get very messy, but I have another wax that I'm going to try, which is a sugar waxing once it grows back a little. And I'm going to see how that one goes, because I don't like the messiness of this one, to be quite honest. But it did work for me personally. Also, when waxing, some of the do's and don'ts that are in here is that it states that do remember to hold the skin very taut when removing the cloth strips. So of course when you're applying the wax, or if you're a girl and you get a Brazilian, you watch them, or you notice them holding that area and then pulling the wax off. So I guess it's making sure it's getting all of the hair, the unwanted hair removal. Some of the other do's, it says keep cloth strips as close to skin as possible when pulling the strip off in the opposite direction of the hair growth, which I mentioned. And it says do wait 1 hour I forgot to mention, you do have to wait 1 hour after taking a shower or bath before using the extra strength wax. And you can cut the strips in a certain size if you need to. Like I feel like for any female, you can just cut them. They're necessarily not even that big, even when you're getting a Brazilian in the waxing salon. So I just simply folded mine and I just cut them. And then when I, of course, got the smaller areas, once I cut this in half, I cut it that way as well. So, and I did it that way as well. So I also wouldn't be wasting wax strips. Some of the don'ts. It says don't use strength wax if you are currently using a certain acid or other dermatologist. If you go to the dermatologist, it says don't use it. I'm struggling with that word. I don't know why. It says don't use the extra strength wax in a room where you may perspire. And of course, if you have any medical conditions that may be affected by the compromised skin, I wouldn't suggest using that, of course. But like I said, I haven't, typically I would break out from everything because that's just how sensitive my skin is. I didn't have a problem. I do recommend it. The only thing I don't care for is how messy it can get. Like, I legit have like gunk everywhere on here. I had it on my hands, but it's off my hands now. I just washed it with warm water and soap. And I didn't use baby powder. I didn't necessarily need to because I got out the shower and waited an hour. You just have to do it very quickly. So once you apply the wax, you apply the wax in the same direction the hair is going, and then you just pull it off. You don't want to wait, but also you might notice some slight reddening of the skin, which is typically normal, I feel like. Also, when you get a Brazilian, your skin down there is more sensitive probably than the skin on your face. Or if it's any skin is getting pulled on, or of course when you get your eyebrows done, it's going to be red. You just have to wait several hours after removing hair by the root. Sensitive skin, mine didn't sting or anything. It says minor stinging might occur. But of course, if you have a more severe reaction, don't use it. It's common sense. And then of course, after you're finished waxing, it comes with this finishing oil. I don't know if you can see it. It comes with this. Oh, sorry. It comes with this finishing oil. And then gently wipe the finishing oil after hair removal is complete to help remove excess wax residue and moisture to soften the skin. And that's what I did, and I didn't have a reaction to that either. And you also don't want to put it in that the more sensitive area, because I feel like if you do, you might have more of a severe reaction. And you also want to divide it. What I mean by that is upper and lower sections. You want to do from right to left, but make sure you do one section at a time. So I hope my insight helped for this time for any women, or for any female, or for any woman that is waxing. Here's the kit that I used again. For any woman that is waxing during this time, I hope I gave you insight if you're looking to find a wax. I know there are better waxing kits for Amazon, but when I went to go look, it was sold out. I can tell you, I did get this at CVS, as I believe I mentioned earlier in my video. But I'm glad, I hope my insight helped during this time, during this quarantine, if you're trying to keep yourself with the maintenance that you would normally do if outside was open or if it was resumed. So I hope you enjoy.